if we can see what, like, the feelings will come up, and our body will show us these feelings, whether it be if we're in a losing situation, you might feel some anxiety or like, oh, what's happening right now, blah, blah. And if we can be aware of what that feeling is and see it and go like, well, that's actually, that is the one thing that is detrimental to what I'm doing right now, and it's going to stop me from succeeding at this, then you can literally like transmute that in the moment, right? And it only took me, like, I had to undo a very serious injury, like a trading injury, and it's a thing called tilt, but it was like, once you take one loss, it's like, oh god, I've all this hard work I've done to get here is out the picture, I've got to make that back quickly, and it would be like almost uncontrollable. Like I would just go in and take another trade, and it's like, my trading's phenomenal, the system works, everything. It's the only problem is, like, I'd go on these sessions where you take one loss and then try and make it back, and then that gives this thing power immediately, right? And so I just literally, 3 months ago, I sat with this and I went in with real money on the real account and learned to lose. And I literally took like $500 loss every single day, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. And it was purely just my brain going like, I got to make something back here. I got losing all notion of structure, all notion of, and just money, like, and whatever that does to us, the money side of things, the freedom, the whatever, the goal orientated dopamine release, all it's such an unbelievable power that you just go, it's more powerful than sex, than anything. If you let it run, it'll just override you. And suddenly, that's how I lost so much money doing this in the past. And that's how people get stuck in these ruts and lose. But and I have done this now with 2 people, if I can get this psychology into your head so that you're like, first of all, defending, like, well, not even defending, but just like seeing and going, oh, that's that. You start, it can't affect you. It's not even about discipline or willpower. It's just seeing, it's self-awareness, or being aware of these things that come up, and then being like, I got to do the opposite of that. Or like, and there's this phase where it's like, this is talking from my personal experience. You don't even have these like bad habits. You may have never traded before or had these bad habits, but for me, it was like this phase where I had to just go in, lose and stop, and then leave, lose, stop, and then leave, but lose in a controlled fashion. So I'm like, oh, I'm not blowing this account anymore. I'm not, like, the strategy works. And then, like, after 5 days of just taking a small loss, it was like, well, now I can actually keep this account. I'm not losing this account. I'm not at risk here. Now I can go back to making profit. And that's how I healed that psychological, like, needing to get the loss back, needing to make it back. And since then, the work that I've done and the research that I've done and gone into things is that I've from reverse engineering all the different people I've been coaching. So unfortunately, some do have bad habits that I'm so excited to work with them to rewind, because it's possible. I've done it myself, but it's our hunter-gatherer origins that work against us. Okay. And that's why we actually, there's this second chapter of this new course that's coming out that all of you guys are going to be on, is like, you're naturally programmed to fail at trading. And so if we can recognize that from the get-go, that we're naturally programmed to fail at this, then we're already winning. We're already ahead. We can see the enemy. The enemy is our natural programming, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's like, oh, I just spoke to Paige quietly before at the beginning when you guys were rolling in, and he's like, oh, I don't want to make mistakes. And this is like, it's not even about making mistakes, because that's our programming. Our program is going, I'm not doing it right. There's never a mistake in trading. There's never a right way of trading. There's just putting yourself in the best position and handling your emotion correctly in the moment, and holding on to that account. Because if you can hold on to that account and even just make $3,000 a month, that's a fuckload of money, right? We're trying to make we can easily make between 4 and 7% a month on a $200,000 account, squeeze 4 to 7% out of FTMO every single month, which is $8,000 to $14,000 easily. The hard part is the 10%. When we're working meticulously with the strategy, the hard part is the 10% for the initial part of the challenge phase, which I'm working with one of my other students on, sort of maybe like a more aggressive approach just for the big get-go to get you guys across the line. Then you go back to this calm selective trading, which is super fucking intelligent and beating the house at its own game, because it's like it's exhibiting the most control. We have, like, fuel to take the rocket off the ground with, and then we go into space and we just cruise. And that's what we're working on at the moment. But that's why right now, if you're not making money. I was break even for 7 days. If you can realize that is fucking successful trading, that is like, and generate dopamine from that, then we're going to get beautiful, successful traders out of you guys. And the thing is, this is not a crazy idea. This is not something out of the blue. Something out of the blue is, yeah, making $1 million in 6 months. That's what everyone thinks trading is, right? But if I can train you guys to make a humble salary, some of this shit's doctor money, right? It is 20K a month is doctor money. It's good. But if we can train you to make, I mean, like, none of you guys are in yachting, but a chief officer salary on a yacht is $8,000 USD a month. That's a fucking great salary. And it's not that crazy. Like, it's not that big a deal. It's just a really nice salary to live off, especially where we are, what we do things. But that's only 4% on a $200,000 account, right? Per month. So we start to think about humbly trading and realizing that like that 8K might come in 1 week of the month. As long as we keep rocking up every day and doing the strategy the same and the same and the same. And it's easy to say to do that, but it's so hard for people to do that. However, we make it easy by realizing why it's hard and that it's not our discipline or willpower and going, oh, I'm shit at this, or I'm not controlled, or I can't get up. Like, I get up every morning now at 5:45 to go to the gym. It's easier than me starting to make these videos for the course because it's habitual now. Whereas I started doing the course, it took me 3 days to get rolling with it. Now I'm making the videos and rolling through it. I just couldn't even begin because I wasn't in habit of doing that. And so if we can roll into habit at the get-go from learning how to like literally become friends with loss or the expense side of things, then we're not afraid of being in a losing situation. We're trained primarily on how to get out of a losing situation, which then if you're trained in being able to get out of a losing situation, because it actually is quite like whoever's, I mean, yeah, I think you've thrown a couple of trades down. Mo's traded in the past. Paige is probably the one that's been traded the most. It's easy to make profit, right? Like, you just put them on and they work. They just fucking work. They're quick. They're small little things. It's when you're in a losing situation, which has been kind of, we've been throwing a few spanners in the works recently. Even today, it was a trending day. When you're in a losing situation, that's, the losing situation is happening, normally 3 times out of 10 or 2 times out of 10, which is good odds for winning, right? So 80% win rate. If we can focus on how we handle our mind in that expense scenario so that you're so trained on being in a loss situation and being in defense, like, that's what nobody's doing. So we've flipped trading completely on its head. We're not trying to get big gains. We've got big stop losses because the big gains take so long to get to. That's why no one ever gets them. We're taking small profits all the time. And then when we're in a situation where we're like, oh shit, this could be a loss, we're trained so well in a calm fashion to be like, I know I've got this. And I'm going to be training you to find joy in that as opposed to be in fear. So you're getting a dopamine release from, oh shit, I'm in a fucking losing position right now. I get to show my skills off. I get to do this properly. Like, I get to be in the, like, defend in the fight. And then we've trained our psychology literally to own this game, right? It's fascinating because it's just like when our natural programming when we're naturally programmed to fail at trading, it's because of, and I was watching it on Huberman Lab recently as well. He brought this up and I was like, this is totally it. It's like goal-oriented dopamine release, right? From reward at the end is the cause of failure because everybody comes in that I want to get this test. I want to pass this account. And I've just got the blessing of having this guy, Alex, he's literally rehabbing my body in the morning. And he's just so meticulous with everything. And he's like, I'm like, okay, because I want him to get his account. Like, it's the first guy. I'm like, let's get you on this account. And he's like, I got no rush. I don't need to. I want to do this properly first. That is the reason that he's trading so well, because it doesn't matter when the money, it's not about the money coming in. It's like anything. You just get so good at something, the money will naturally come in. But if we can detach from the idea of success being getting this account, because that's how they make their money. The prop firm wants everyone to fail. And then the ones that can handle themselves like us, we come out of their budget salary to pay for paid traders, which brings their marketing in, right? So it's like this two-way street. You got to jump across, everyone's paid Prince of Persia. There's different traps and things. You got to see, where the first trap is, where the second trap is. The first trap is the time limit on getting the test and the amount you've got to get. But they stretch it out and they give you actually enough time to do it really easily. but it's seeing that and it's removing that urge, because once the account starts, it's like, oh, I might be making $15,000 a month. Like, that's fucking life changing for everybody. It's life changing. It's from your computer for half an hour a day, and it's not, you know, when you do make this kind of money, when you make $8,000 a month, you're gonna know why people are like, oh, teach me that, it's easy. And you're gonna be like, well, I actually fucking rewired my brain, like, you know, and we're gonna do it quickly. It's only gonna take us 2 weeks to do, but you're going to see why everybody else fails. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, it's easy. Trading's easy. It's not about whether it's easy or not. It's like, I went in and rewired this shit that everybody, then you start to see the crypto world. You start to see HODL. You start to see like Lambo to the moon. You see all these quotes in the crypto world and purely attacking that part of our psyche, which is like, I got to get this goal quick. I got to be rich quick. I got to get this need. I'm going to be in this. And it's blowing the retail mind out of the picture. You look at that and you're like, I would never, ever, ever touch a crypto coin again. Like, you just, because you see how the game works. You see how it appeals to our psychology in the wrong way. And so it's goal-oriented dopamine release, okay, being the cause of our failure. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to go through now the general crux of what is in, just to talk through this with you and field questions from you guys being new. You're all super intelligent people. I'm very happy to have you here. This is the beginning of the course. I'm shooting all this at the moment. I'm shooting the psychology, but I want you to consider what I'm saying and then come to me with any thoughts or any questions about the psychological side of things, and also being very, very honest if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. But basically the start of it is my foundational ideas. The chapter is Holy Grail of intraday trading into education. It is, right. I say it full and through. I'm so excited about this. I'm so proud of what everybody has done. And some of the guys have taken one for the team because they have gone down the addiction. I had to see how that worked in their head to be able to create this education, to clean it up. But we're at the forefront of psychological thinking here. So sophisticated thinking. Why we focus on one instrument only. This is a psychological management skill. And then if you follow this method, you'll make 4 to 7% per month. Okay. 4 to 7% per month is fucking phenomenal. 4% a month is fantastic. And it's easy to make 4% a month. You just said it might be a week without trading. That's the hard thing. So we got to train ourselves to realize that, like, oh, if I'm break even this week and I've been trading, I'm killing it. Right. Because eventually it'll go and jump up and I've got my profits for the month. So then I go into, you're naturally programmed to fail at trading. I've got a chapter on our hunter-gatherer origins working against us. Goal-oriented dopamine release is the cause of failure. What if money wasn't a factor? Think about that for a second, okay? If money wasn't a factor in this, we would all be laughing at this game. It is so simple. It's so simple. It's just buy and sell the red lines and like wait for it to come back. Like, that's why everybody on trial, fucking, even people that don't have the psychological training, kill it from the get-go, because they're not thinking about the money part and just more make them. And then as soon as they go on a challenge account, they're like, oh, I've got to change what I'm doing. Right. Why? But it's valid. I still feel it myself. But why is that? Why has money brought in that change? So it's as close as we can get to realizing what if money wasn't a factor while still being safe. You know, it's that balance between not being cowboy, but also going like, well, what if money wasn't a factor? Because it's not real anyway. This is all bullshit, fake numbers that just happen to buy us food, you know, or hunting, like a course on how to hunt animals or some shit. That's probably what I'm going to do in the future to learn skills that I need to actually survive in. But you know, what is this? This is just numbers coming out of a machine. It's nothing. And then we go into understanding tilt and what tilt is, and how I never, ever, ever want you guys to go and tilt. I actually just like have mastered tilt, and you know, not having anybody go into tilt from the get-go by seeing it is going to be such a beautiful exercise. So then chapter 3 is we go into the hidden subconscious programming. And then, you know, who here, as I go along, like the need to get rich quick, can we all agree? Like, do you feel that when you think of trading? No. Well, the need to make it.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's why what I thought people, you know, want mostly as traders is to make a lot of cash real fast, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm joining, this community and kind of what you're teaching, Ben, because it's like you said earlier, it's the exact opposite. It's about being humble, and just taking profits when you can, small amounts, which again add to a large amount, which is definitely more my flow, my style too, as I get older as well. Cause I'm not that risk averse anymore. And so so that makes sense to me.
Beautiful. I thought for a second you were saying you were joining this because of the get rich quick. That's why I'm here. I'm like, oh fuck. No. But you do, this is the thing, you do get rich quick, but it's not acknowledged. And this is the art of this, is to go like, you do make money very quickly, but it's not acknowledging that aspect of the need to get rich quick. So this is what I'm trying to say. If we can detach from these things, so it's like, it just happens. It's like the more and more you practice and you see these numbers come in and you see them go out and you see it just like, it's like, if we're getting to it, but it's basically dopamine release from process orientated out from the process. So I'm going to train you to release dopamine, which is what this is all driven on, from actual good process. So if you take a good loss, you're like, oh, I feel good about that. And it doesn't happen overnight, but like, I'm feeling my first ones. The other day I took a loss and I was like, fuck, thank God I took that loss. Like I did that perfectly. Like, even though it came back down to a profit at the end of the day, I'm like, that could have easily done what it's done today and kept going up. I'm very happy that I took that loss at that time because I can control my account. I feel good about this. Like, if I had to take all of this entire education into like literally one sentence, it would be, or one concept, it would be literally that, like, I'm happy with the loss that I just took, and who the fuck says that? No one ever says, oh, I'm happy with that loss I took. But I'm telling you right now, the top traders in the world, when Warren Buffett or whatever, whoever you're looking at, they're like, oh, thank God I cut that thing off. It's just such a different way of, it's abundance thinking, and it's like logical, pragmatic thinking. It's not thinking with the emotion attached to what that money is my God or whatever. The need to be right, another one. We can all deny a lot of these things too. We will deny that they're there, but the need to be right isn't you necessarily going like, oh, I got to prove my point. But it's like, hey, this trade, everything looked correctly. Why didn't it work out? Happened to me yesterday. Like, why didn't it trade? Well, like, I'm just putting myself in that right spot, and that's the probability is either going to give me what I want, as it does most of the time, or I'm wrong. I'm happy with that. So these subtleties of this programming, the need to win. Okay. It's there. It's present. Both sexes, maybe a little bit more with in the masculine energy, but the need to win, definitely work. It shows up more in others. A lot of people that go and are very successful and hardcore and killing it in other aspects of life don't do so well at this because it's too much. You kind of need to be a little bit timid, a little bit humble, and a little bit like, oh, I don't need to be the biggest man in the room or whatever. That kind of helps you with the trading, because it's like, it's just that, yeah, we don't, it's one of the hidden subconscious programs. The need for more, huge. Okay, huge thing that comes up. It's going to creep up into every single one of us. It doesn't matter. If Mo, you're living on a beautiful exotic fruit-free farm up in the Daintree, you're like, no, I can get a really nice Jeep, and why not? Like, it's going to come up if you start to see, or like, well, I don't know. Like, I made $5,000 last week. I only made $1,000 this week, or I lost $1,000. Like, I need more. Like, you got to see how that comes up, how that raises, how that pops its head up, is subtle. It's not like, oh, I'm greedy, it's very subtle. And I'm working, my goal is to work with people moving forward that, it's not that difficult for them to see what I'm saying, and I'm being very selective with who I take on in the group moving forward, because I don't want to have to rewind something that's so far down the road. Like, all you guys, I know, understand what I'm saying there, but it's subtle, it's like the need for more, like less is more in this, because if the more you practice that, like right now, as I said, I've been so risk averse. I haven't made too much money the past month, 6 weeks, but this morning I went in and I'm like, I'm making some money this morning. I did $1,500 like at the open without batting an eyelid. Like I literally, I came out and like, you know, when I went to get a haircut afterwards, and went to Rome, you know, for breakfast, and like I said to my partner, "Did you know that I did 1,500 this morning?" She's like, "I didn't even know you traded." Like that's fucked up for me. That's a completely different thing. But I was so calm. I've been so strict on myself and so detached from all these things, preaching what I'm putting out, that I was like, I can see that trade, I'm taking it. Boom, I can see another little one, I'm taking it. You know, it was near the bands, but like I knew it was there. I took it and then I stopped after and I left the house, and it wasn't like, oh, I want to keep going. Like that wasn't there at all. Like this is coming from personal experience, from years of being in this cycle of like, I gotta need more. It was like, you know, I came, shot an arrow, hit a target, and I wasn't even like, I forgot when I left the house that I'd done that. Honestly, you know, that's where I'm at with this. It's really taken me a month of like, just, it took me 2 weeks of rewiring, and then like a month where I'm at this point. And that's what, it's so exciting, because I'm going to get you guys thinking like this from the get-go. Okay. You're never going to be like showing off to your friends, oh, I did 2K this morning, I did that. Like, we don't do that here. Like, it's, I forget that it's even done. And you just, you know, up your lifestyle, like work on your businesses, create, do it. This is just fucking more fuel for you to go and live a creative life that you want to live anyway. The need to recover losses quickly. The biggest one, this is number 5, need to recover losses quickly. It's something we all have, and it is the hunter-gatherer thing I was talking about beforehand, especially for the men. Again, I've only got 2. Well, I've got 3 women now in training group. I've got more coming on. I've got 4 actually, and my partner's begging me to do it now because she's like, I'm going to kill it. I know she will. I don't even want to teach her because it's going to be embarrassing, but she doesn't need more. It's like the 2 women that have been with me the longest, they're both, you know, high up levels of yachting. They manage just men. They manage a male dominated industry, and they're such good traders because they don't have like this need to get the loss back. It's just, they're like, yeah, I just did it. It is, I don't want to be sexist towards us, but we really have to be aware of that. It is just like, I'm not providing if I don't bring this back. I lost this money. I'm not providing for the house. Mike, I got to put food on the table. Like, it fucking is in there, whether you want to believe it or not. It is so in there. And we're programmed. We want all these people on YouTube talk about being a provider, being man. That's great when you're out there hustling, selling, doing shit like this. But trading, it is the exact opposite of what you need. You really need to be in your feminine when you're trading, to some extent, right? To some extent, you got to be like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm just, it's, you know, it'll come back. It's all good. Everything will work out. Like, she says that shit to me, and I'm like, it's not great. We got to fucking take action right now. And she's like, just relax. It'll work itself out. And it always works itself out. I just waste stress on thinking about it. And that's the way it is with trading, is like, you know, if you take a loss, that's all this hard work that's gone down the line. We have this thing now. It's a cash flow record. It's just it's like a grade 7 Excel spreadsheet. Okay. But it is your confidence record. It keeps you confident, because if you take a loss, but then you look back, and I'll show you now, you know, if you take a loss, but then you look back at, I mean, there's stuff coming out right now. I've been really excited to share this. Let me just share my screen. Can you see that? Yeah, I haven't updated today. I can just do that when I'll do that later. But look, this is, you know, if you take a lot, like you can see, these are my loss days. This is everyone's going to get this. So if you take a loss on one day and you're focusing on that one day, it's like, oh God, I suck at this. This is not right. I can't do this. But if you look at, like, if you put it against your P&L, like, you might, like, this is when I was, you know, back into a real account, and like, you know, it was just me practicing on tilt to get out of that tilt. I took a loss every day in the real account, and then I recovered, and then you see me go back. Like, this is like, just, it's purely my psychology. There's nothing to do with strategy here. It's just my mind. This is all just my mind. It's just, it's nothing. People say it's 95% psychology trading. It's 99.95%. Literally, is psychology. It's nothing to do with the strategy. This strategy is so simple. Okay. But you can see my cash flow record from the 9th of August. You know, I'm traveling here. I'm in a van. This is when I was, you know, on holiday in I'm going to put this one up. Yeah, in Portugal, driving a beautiful van around on the beach and looking at nature and all that and trading at the same time. That's then like, look at this fucking results. Okay. That's me chilling, going out, setting, forgetting, like so chilled, so emotionally detached, so connected with nature. If you get my drift, whatever. I was so peaceful. And then you have this is me back in the office. Like, look at the difference, right? So the thing is, it doesn't matter because I will get this back to this. I'm just learning. This is me looking at the chart, me being so connected, me like second guessing myself, me, it's crazy when you look at it. Profits are down, but still, I'm still making money. That's what the equity curve looks like. But if you focus on this, if I focus on that I suddenly go, oh, I can't do this. I'm losing. If I didn't have all this to look at behind, then I would believe this, right? I would believe this in the moment. And so when you look at every single day and you're making the money, you're putting the profit in, it's like -3, +3, +3, -1,500, -756, you start to see that these losing days should be small and these profit days need to be bigger for me to get back on track with making money. I've been floating around break even for the past week, but that's fine. The market hasn't been giving me great stuff. The thing is, I can at least, even when the market's not giving me fruit, when I'm not harvesting, hey, like, this is not a like joke, this is not a joke here. Like that just keep that going like that until this kicks in again. That'll kick in again. Now, I may not have passed a test, the challenge phase 1 in this period here, and that's what freaks everybody out. But sure as hell, I passed it there and some. And, we will get to that. Like, passing the challenge part of the test is the least thing we need to worry about. Getting the account is the least thing we need to worry about. If you can come in and do this, and even if you're just doing 2 days losses, 2 days wins, 3 days wins, 2 days losses, if you're doing that, you are controlling your account like a professional. You are trading better than 99% of the population because you're coming in, you're recording what you're doing, you're rocking up every day. I get a kick out of, I get to put in a blue thing. I've done what, 1142 today. I'll put it in right now, 1142. It's the 22nd, and I pull that down there, right? I get to add to that. I go back up. I get to add to this thing. Like, that's where I'm getting my dopamine from. Seeing that, I get to see that blue kick. I'm not going, oh my God, yesterday I took that. Like, look at my losses. They're never bigger than 2K. And that's with a $9,000 stop loss. I'm never letting it go there. It might breathe to -4K, but it comes back and I get out. My losses are never bigger. And I want them to be a little smaller, to be honest. But this is kind of, it just balances out like that. There's no like systematic thought going into this. It's just like riding the exit protocol correctly. What I need to do, I can see from my history here, is just be a little bit more aggressive with my trades, or a little bit more relaxed, and just, maybe I do need to just go get a van in Portugal and drive around for a month. Maybe that's the best way I fucking trade. But that's, I can do it. I can do this. This is the 30K, 25,000, 30K month, right? But the thing is like, you guys, as long as you do this from the get-go, every single day meticulously, and it's just like, I want you to see this as the fun part. Oh, I get to put in, even if you take $500 loss 4 days in a row, like, that's beautiful. You've worked within your risk rules. You put this is if you put the trades in the right spot and then they've closed with, like from the exit protocol, which you're going to lose. If everything you've done is correct in regards to the protocol, and you put in 4 days loss like this is amazing. This isn't like red down to -9. This just looks like that. This is normal. This is a beautiful equity curve, right? $53,000 in 55 days, like $1,000 a day. It just ends up working like that. Okay. So our cash flow record is the thing that's going to keep us confident and stop us from the need to recover losses quickly. And I just wanted to go across that. I'm just going with the flow right now and what comes up. But these first periods before I was teaching the strategy, it's nothing to do with strategy. We're not focusing on the money. It is how you guys need to be thinking from the get-go so that you literally can be in these challenge accounts in the next 2 to 3 months, even next month, if you're thinking this way. Because if you're handling your account and you're not blowing it, then you can be in the challenge account, and then you just might, it'll just pass itself at some point. You might get real lucky one month, and then you just keep trading, right? But these are the tools, simple tools that we have in place that literally make you either a professional trader or a non-professional trader. And you'd be surprised. I'm hoping, I rate all of you very highly. You'd be surprised that once this comes out, and like the chapter is actually, I don't like the word, but we're fighting the system here. So mandatory habitual journaling. Okay. No one's forcing anybody to get a jab, but mandatory habitual journaling is going to make sure you're very, very, very good at this art. Is just in your daily habitual journaling. If you just show up every day, and that's like your little toy, your thing you're proud, like your garden, you're planting, you get to see that progression every single day. Okay. I guarantee you, I've done it myself, and it's worked for me. And I don't know what doctor could have helped me with this. I had to pull myself out of it. Okay. We have this natural aversion to not want to journal. We have this natural, we need to be writing essays every day, but it's just these things that just keep us in check every single day and keep us growing. And we can look back and be like, I don't want to do that again. It's there. And also going, hey, I'm actually a really good trader. Hey, I can do this. Hey, I can keep money in an account. Like, the concept of tilt doesn't even become a thing. Number 6, the need to bend the rules. Okay. I'm trying to take on less people that have this tendency within them. It's just not worth working with. But some people have all of us, this is, again, how do I know this stuff? I did it myself. We need to bend the rules sometimes in life, but with this, we can't. We just cannot bend the rules with this. And no one's trying to have power over you. No one's trying to be your boss. The market's your boss. I'm showing you how to do this. But you never need to bend the rules here. So it's just something you can't do. If that comes up, I should maybe do it this way. Yes, when you get intuition, and yes, when you start to understand what's happening and you become more comfortable. Like this morning, for example, I did take a trade just shy of the upper bands. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't bending the rules. I still kept a limit order. I still waited. I still knew what I wasn't like buying off the median, like doing, you know what I mean? It was within the rules parameter. But I'm talking about going like, I see this pattern here. I'm pretty sure I see what's happening. Like, so many times I have people tell me, I can see what the market's doing. I see this idea, and they've been doing this for 2 weeks, and it's just like, it's silly to hear it. And my ego now in the past would be like, trying to tell that person, but now I say, whatever, I don't care. That's your own loss. But just realize how silly that is. We don't see anything. I don't see anything anymore. I see how the structure we put in the river, and I see how price interacts with that. And I'm reliant on that because it's the closest we're going to get. It's our edge, literally our edge in trading is the river, which we'll get onto. Number 7, the need to reach the end goal fast. The biggest one. We've gone over that. It doesn't matter. You guys are going to be the fastest people you're the 2.0 group. You're going to be the fastest one to get these accounts. You're going to be the fastest one. You're going to be the fastest one to do this. You're going to be the fastest one to make money from doing this, because I'm teaching this from the get-go. Before, when I started coaching, I didn't have anybody to and the reality is I wanted to make money fast. So people, make money fast. Yeah, come in and make money fast. Like, now it's like, this is the reality. It's not about that. I get less business in terms of my coaching, but I get real people that are going to pass, and that in the future will pay off. The reality is I'm teaching what probably a lot of people don't want to hear, and then I don't get those kind of people coming to me. I don't get I'm going to make money right now, and I get less. I don't get the whole get rich quick crowd. I don't want that. I want you guys to really, I want to help you change your lives. I want you to really kill this, and it makes me feel good, and it validates my life's work that I've been doing. So the number one thing here is the need to reach the end goal fast. Like the test, getting it, you will get there faster than everybody else by realizing that if you just show up every single day and just do this process, albeit a little bit boring at the beginning. We've got the group there. I chuck a couple of jokes in the morning. It's not that bad. Just fucking show up every single day for that half an hour and incorporate it into whatever else you're doing. And I promise you, in 3 months' time, you'll be like, You won't even ask me if you're going to do the challenge. You're like, hey, like I've opened it up. Like you will know because you are not blowing your account. That's all I'm looking for. All I'm looking for is you not blowing your account on emotion. Sometimes your stop loss will get blown. We keep it just beneath the daily loss limit. If you get that catastrophic blow and you're trading correctly, it is just the luck of the draw, and you go back and you grind back up. That's all it is, right? Sometimes it's inevitable that one day in your trading career, maybe once every 3 months, once every 6 months, you'll hit your just under your daily max loss, and you just go back to the grind and grind back to break even and grind back up. That's the way this works. Okay. But if you just rock up every single day, don't think about passing this test, don't think about getting into this thing. Just I promise you, if you can see that you don't blow accounts and you're making 4 to 7% per month, you're going to feel free. The money will come to you, right? You'll feel comfortable trading your own $10,000. You'll just feel safe. That's what this is about. Number 8, the natural aversion to loss. So it's the last thing is our natural aversion to loss, that feeling of like, that comes up inside. If we see it a negative, it's going to happen. I don't expect you to see a negative trade and be like, oh, that's fine. It happens for me still. But we can mitigate it as much as possible. We can dampen it as much as possible. We can take as much heat out of that, and we can realize that it's there. But literally meditate, in a live walking meditation on it, going like I mean, I've done a 10-day Vipassana. It really comes into the psychology of it. I've been doing it again recently, of just how you observe the sensation, and it's like, okay, I'm in, like, we will be practicing a form of Vipassana when you're in a loss. Is the numbers are negative. You're observing the sensation of yourself when you're there, and you're realizing, well, this sensation is impermanent. It will pass, and it really doesn't make any difference if I feel this way or not. Like, it just doesn't serve me. But it's so fascinating to watch yourself go, oh God, it's losing. It's negative. Blah 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 blah. What is that? I haven't lost anything. It isn't like, it's fucking crazy. But the more we can see that, that's so powerful. It's so, and it will seep into every other aspect of your life as well. But it is just so powerful to be able to sit there, watch yourself feeling this like tightness when it's losing, hoping it comes back down, and then seeing yourself progress relatively quickly to go like, yeah, it's losing, but I know it's going to come back down. Oh, now I'm in profit. I'm going to take that profit. And then you start to go like, well, even right now, if you've taken a short, like, the loss wouldn't be that bad. Like, it would have gone up. It's going to come back down. Like, it's never that bad. So it's like, we just have to recognize that we're subconsciously programmed to have an aversion to loss. And if we can just watch that in the moment every single day, try and get into positions where we're actually losing, like, to feel it, as long as they're good positions, look forward to it. Hey, I'm going to tackle this thing. I'm going to get on with it. It's really fun. So we're turning these things into actually a fun process. And then, talking about like our perception of failure being wrong, failure, again, I hear people say, I made a mistake, I'm hard on myself. It's going to come up. You're not bad for thinking that, but just realize that it's wrong. Paige this morning, I'm making mistakes. You're not making mistakes, buddy. Like, it's taken me 9 years to get here. You're trading phenomenally. The fact that you're rocking up and have you blown an account yet? Like, dude, I don't think you guys understand like the chaos that you're missing out on. Like, there's people, I got a friend that put his entire house in England on 8 Bitcoins at the peak. Like, that is fucked up. You're not going to ever go into that. Like, that is just pure gambling. Like, it's losing the house, literally. If you're not blowing your account and you're up $1,000, like, and you've been doing this for a month, like, how much are you up, Paige?
4,000.
Okay, so you've been doing this with me for a month now, and you're up $4,000, and you haven't blown it, and you're rocking up every day, and you're still chilled at the gym 9:30 when the market opens, doing your sit-ups. It's not even affect. You're not sitting there like, oh, I got to trade. Like, dude, like, congratulations, bro. Like, that is fucking success. It's such a beautiful thing to hear. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this group, because it's like, that's beautiful. That's the opposite. You watch, like, go watch a video on Wall Street after this and see what they're doing in the pit. Like it's fucking chaos. Like, we're not running on that. This is mindful scalping. And so what you're doing is absolutely success right now. It's beautiful. So realizing, if you take a little bit of a loss, like, oh, I took this lot, like, you might go back to 2.5K tomorrow, like, and then you back up to 5 the next day. Like, it's $5,000 that, like, in a real account is just, it's it's a new fucking laptop and rent for the month. Like, it's successful, and you did it. If you did it in a calm fashion, maybe there's a little bit of stress on the line. It's like anything. If someone's trying to sell something, or you're doing a DJ set, or you've got, you know, people, you're trying to sell like a big table yet, you know, at night, you got a 30 grand table, and that you hoping they rock up because you want to get that commission on the side. But there's all elements of stress, you know, like it's all elements of stress that are involved in making sure that that goes correctly. Like if we can keep it to that level, even lower, it's just like any other business, and it's a beautiful thing. So realize that our perceptions of failure are wrong. We're never making mistakes here. We're just, as long as we're rocking up and doing it calmly and by the book and building intuition, then it's very successful. And then the last part of that is like, you know, what happens if you allow all these programs to operate? And that is basically blowing accounts, tilt, and second guessing yourself, stressing, like just the second you start to, again, it's like with Vipassana. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Vipassana meditation thing, but they talk about a thing called a Sankara, and like, you know, you scan your body, and if you have sensations, if you focus on that sensation and give it strength, you build, you give it power, you build a Sankara. So you, like, you know, it's like if you think about somebody or something that's pissed you off, and you keep thinking about the same thing. I do it every fucking day. I'm really trying to stop doing it, you know, and my poor partner's just helped me out. But like everyone has this to some degree, but you give it strength, you give it power, you give it this, you let it build muscles, and and then you just, before you know it, it's running, you know. And there's the thing about trading, it doesn't take long. It can take 2-3 days of just trading. Like, oh, the worst thing is that I'm gonna practice trading on a trial account and do fuck you trades, or I'm going to practice trading different styles while I'm in account. What you're doing is you're creating bad habits from the get-go. I'm going to practice with bigger lot sizes. I'm going to practice different hours of the day. I'm going to practice more trades, thinking that that is actually getting you somewhere. It's literally creating this. It's like, I'm going to smoke a pack of ciggies right now, instead of looking at the pack of the cigarettes going like, oh, that's a beautiful box. How do they construct that? It's literally, that's what it is. If you understand that practicing this more is the most detrimental thing you can do. It's not about that. It's not going in and going, I've got to practice more and more and more to get better and do more in the practice phase. It's no, I got to see what these things are straight up and put them into perspective, and realize what this big picture is. And you're like brainwashing yourself with the big picture of what it takes to win at this. And it's just 4% a month. Beautiful. So if you allow those programs to operate, I'm going to go into that in the talk. This is really nice to go through this with you guys. Is everybody still with me? Like, do I need to go somewhere? Is this valuable? Because this is the course, I'm kind of giving you a rundown and seeing how you're going to be able to take this and move forward this week. And then obviously I'll put it in the course, but you know, this is just flowing out of me live right now. And it's really, really good information, because it's coming from the heart, and it's coming from a genuine place where I've fucking done it myself. And it's just like, wow, it's so beautiful to be here and see how it works. So after that, number 4, okay, is rewiring the psyche for trading. So this is the last part here. I know it's coming up to an hour. I just want to go through this with you guys. And then after that, I'm reshooting the technical side of things, and just how to do this, you know, which you're seeing every single morning when you're watching the analysis. But rewiring the psyche for trading, okay, this is nothing to do with willpower, only awareness. It's the first part. Okay. So we shouldn't be sitting here going, oh God, this is going to be such a mission. You know, no matter how impulsive you've been in the past, no matter how what self-limiting beliefs, like, I can't do it, I can do it, I'm too good at this, whatever, you know, I'm not capable. All this crap that it's always going to be there somewhat. It just is. It's just part of the being. It's a human existence. But it's just separating that and going like, you don't need a huge amount of willpower to rewire yourself. This is not going to take you months. And the thing is, you guys haven't traded. Mo is probably the only one here who's done some trading in the past, right? And like, you know, you've been down that path. You've had those experiences where you've gone into tilt. Do you want to speak for a second about that, and then I'll keep going? Like your previous trading experience?
It was all through demo though. So But I think like my experience with it is once like with the what I would call tilt is once you get one trade and it's good and then you do another and it's bad, you're like, oh, I need to do another one to try and do it as good as the last one, and you just keep on doing them without doing
Yeah.
what you're explaining, saying stop, taking a step back, and yeah,
You lose confidence and
looking
then you
at
try
what
and make it back, and then you're not looking at it
yeah
logically. It's running on an impulse, completely impulse, you know. And if you look at it,
impulse. Yeah, it's
it's
like that greed.
yeah, it's just you know, yeah. It's like it literally is like if you're playing golf and you just started going like at the ball. Like that's exactly what it's like. It's funny, but that's how silly it is if we think about it. Like what's making us do that? We're playing cricket and you're just hitting the thing, or you're just kicking like football as many times as you can, like, or the best analogy, you're surfing, you know, the wave is out there, you're paddling out to the wave break, but you just try and keep taking the shitty little waves that are like in the whitewash that are halfway out, like they're in the background right now, you know, waiting for that big one out the back there, but you're taking these little ones because you're just not waiting for the right spot. It doesn't make sense. So realize how silly that is before it even comes in. Just realize that this is just ridiculous. Okay. It's nothing to do with willpower. Don't let it take don't let it become willpower. Don't let it get to the point where you got to exert willpower. Just realize that it's just how silly it is to even be in that space. So eradicating addiction before it begins. Okay. Let's bring that word up. Let's not hide from that word. Addiction. 99% of traders have it. Okay. I really honestly think 99%. Like, and I'm saying I'm going to teach you to be the 1%. Like I am. I've been doing this for fucking 9 years. I am teaching you to be the 1%. This is what this is. Okay. I'm so confident in that. And it is just how to think. Okay. Eradicate. We're not high. I'm not trying to sugarcoat, buttercup this for you at all. I'm not sitting here, we're making $15,000 this week, guys. Let's fucking go, baby. It's not about that. It's about seeing what the fuck this thing is, and it is like either like it can ruin someone's life, or it can actually make you an incredibly better person. It's just the ultimate thing, and he's showing up every fucking day. It's like this exercise every day. It's putting it in your face. You got to be better. You got to be better, or you be a degenerate. Like it fucking puts it straight up. Okay, we're not being degenerates. We eradicate addiction before it begins. We do not allow it. Yes, we may smoke our ciggies now and then. We may drink our beers. We might indulge in a little bit of hooch now and then, or whatever. That's fine. That I'm not here. I don't care what you do in that sense, or what I do. When it comes to trading, we don't have any space for it. We don't have any space for any of that bullshit at all, because it's just when we're trading, it's only our higher self that can be in power. If you just go and be your lower self for the rest of the day, that's fine. I don't care. That's, you know, but when you're trading, it is just your higher self for half an hour, and you got to put you got to realize you got to be there. And you're man, I'm here, I'm calm, I'm collected, and I'm in control, and I'm doing the strategy by the book no matter what. And we realize that, you know, like addiction, if I'm like, oh, I've been working with Paige the longest on this, you know, in terms of the psychological side of things, and from the get-go, it's like I'm saying, like, leave the house afterwards, like watch that feeling that, oh, I want to trade another trade for the rest of the day. I haven't made one today. I want to get one today. Like, if I'm not making a lot of money at the moment because I'm just walking out the house and forgetting about it, I need to actually come back in and become a bit more focused, to be honest. And that's what I did this morning. I'm going in and making some cash. I've been so unattracted to it that there's no thought in my head, oh, I should be back making some cash. And there's no addiction. If you for a second think I should be on the market right now trying to get some cash, or the Asia session's open, let's go, that's addiction. That's an addictive mindset. There's addiction at play. You've got to recognize that from the get-go, that if there's any thought, oh, I could make money right now, like I've only done $500 today, I should do another bit more. Like, it's like, you got to nip that in the bud from the get-go, and trust me that you will make more money than anybody else if you do that. Okay. Any feeling of like, I've got to, you know, stay, look, if you take a trade, albeit stay near your computer so you can jump on if the alert goes off. I don't like to leave trades on. And, you know, even this morning when I went to the haircut, I was going to put another one on. I left it. Thank God I didn't, because I just want to be there to be able to get out in a calm fashion. And so I have that in the back of my head. But needing to take another trade, needing to make some more money right now. Like it isn't there. And it used to be there so strongly that it's sickening. Okay. It is literally, I feel like I'm in like alcohol anonymous class, like talking to like, you know, people after like recovering from serious addiction. Like it is such a crazy addiction that we never, ever, ever, no one in this group is ever going to have that. No one is ever going to go through what I went through. No one is ever going to feel that feeling. And that's a lot of the reason why with, like, you know, with Paige and Joel, they're friends of mine from Tulum, and why it took so long for me to, you know, bring you on board is I had to really see, like, I don't want you to be distracted from your DJing. I don't, both of you, you're artists. I don't want you to be distracted from that. I don't want this to come into your psyche in the morning and you'd be thinking about this crap. Because the whole reason I did this is so I can go and actually make beats and go down the road of my DJing career. And I finally getting to that point. It's taken me 9 years. I don't want this to come into your psyche or become an addictive thing. And that's why I really took my time talking to you, seeding it out, filling out. I'm really excited teaching you now because it's not there, you know, but it's my biggest fear in the past. It's not a fear anymore because I'm in control of it and you guys are going to be in control of it. But just really recognize how big a deal it is when I say that you got to catch that thing from the get-go. The second, Joel, when you start trading this week, when you start trading, Mo, when you start trading, okay, when you take those trades and you leave it on, like learn, let it blow. If it blows, it hits the thing, let it go into profit. Like learn to just let it do its thing. And then we bring in more control after that. But the beginning, it's like disconnect, like come back, take another one in the right spot the next morning. Like these things from the get-go is what it's about. And you will, right? Paige, talk to me. Tell me how you, like what you were just saying beforehand, like tell me how your perspective of this, even though I talk to you about this every single day or a lot of the time, still tell me how that comes up for you and how you deal with that.
I think the hardest thing right now is like as an artist, you spend so much time getting really good at something and you hone in on a craft. And as you make trades and you're successful or you fail at one, you start to get imposter syndrome because you feel like it's too easy. And to set it and forget it and to lose, or set it, forget it, and make 2 trades at 500, you start to feel like you don't have this foundation that's as great or equal to the person who's mentoring you. So I'm trying to set it, forget it, and go listen to that Trading in the Zone book. But I do look forward to, if you could share with anything, to, if I have time off from work, to spend learning more, because I feel I don't want to look at it as, well, I would like to look at myself as an expert.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And it's the same thing that comes up with other people. And I think the thing would be to like understand what the news releases are. If you want to like have a grip of what's happening, like understand what, like this new course that's coming up is really going to give you a full understanding of what, you know, what everything entails in terms of the strategy and whatnot. But look at how MetaTrader is used. Like look at what a limit order is. Like Google things, not strategies or ways of doing things, just what, like look at the history of trading, look at what algorithmic, like look at some VPRO documentaries about trading, like study trading and look at trading psychology, like listen to Chat with Traders, the podcast, amazing podcast, Chat with Traders, guys, a new guy from New Zealand. Like I'll thank you for this. I'll put all this up. Let me write that in right now, actually. Yeah, I learned a lot of my stuff from there. But the thing is, the most important thing is actually realizing that less is more, and we're trying to cut all the noise out. And I'm actually what the difference that's going to take you out of being reliant on me, because I don't want you taking the same trades as me all the time either. I want you fishing for yourself, is rocking up every day, looking at my analysis. And what Alex is doing is he's doing his own analysis beforehand, doing his own trades, and then checking afterwards if it matches mine. That's what you need to be doing. That's the only thing you need to be doing. Okay. Do the analysis beforehand, take some trades, look to see if it's on par with mine. Sometimes it's going to be better than mine. Sometimes it's not. Everything's subjective, but you start to think about the market for yourself. You start to see the pattern, but bringing in other information, indicators, strategies, like you've got to actually, like, that's actually really interesting. Imposter. That's very interesting. So like not doing enough, not knowing.
You know, like when you do a DJ set, you could go anywhere from 2 to 8, so many hours. When you do a music session, it could be 4 to 8 hours. And to wake up and do your analysis, watch a video, set 2 or just 1, set it and forget it, and then have this full day and this opportunity to make, in my eyes, $500 is a large amount of money. So you
It is
start
a
to
large
think-
amount. It's a large amount of money in my eyes.
so you feel like but in my real career, I have to work really hard, dedicate so much time and energy.
Yeah.
So how is this even possible? Why am I so lucky? I'm not a magician. I'm not and I'm doing well. And like the other day I profited 700 and I rode my bike to the food store, and the whole bike ride there, I'm like, why me?
Well,
I'm not Benny. Why me? Because that day I text you, I have excitement. You're like, chill out, chill the emotions, and maybe you
Yeah.
broke even that day. So I'm like, I'm not better than the sensei. I'm just wax on, wax off, and it starts to mess with you a little bit.
yeah, I mean, like, just it's like you deserve it. It's okay. You're showing up, and you're listening to me, and you're playing by the rules.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to do. You're listening to me, like, without trying to be better or trying to be right. You're doing it correctly. You know, it's fun. It's funny. I didn't realize I never had an ass muscle. Like I don't have a gluteus maximus, and I always like, I'd be like, oh, but I like, you know, my missus like, you really should just do some squats. And I've had this, you know, this bloke train me meticulously every single morning, and I would never do that myself. But I have to fucking get up at 5:45 and arrive at 6:15 before the sun is up here in Tulum. No one's up at 6:15 in Tulum. Paige isn't up at 6:15 in Tulum. And I'm getting an ass muscle, and I deserve that fucking ass muscle because I'm in the gym at 6:15 and I've got a pink weight on a moon boot on my leg in front of both of our fucking girlfriends, doing a lighter weight than them, moving my leg to the side. But I got an ass muscle. My legs have gained strength, and I deserve that because I'm fucking there every morning for that 1 hour. Like, you got to look at it like this, because the difference is, and I can say it from experience with other people, is you can look at me and be like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then just something inside of you makes you go and do something else. Something inside of you is like, I got a better way of doing this. I can see how to make money right now. Like I've had these issues myself. I'm like a rebellious, always my whole life. I've been against the system. I want to do it this way, against myself. You're fighting yourself essentially. I don't like, you know, certain things about how the world's run, different whatever, but like I wasn't getting ahead myself. I have to follow my own rules. Some of these rules I still don't follow. Like, you know, other people follow my own rules better than me. I can put them out there. Think about it like this. What if I told you you're actually following my own rules maybe better than me sometimes? And that's why you made money that day and why I broke even. Like, I am a recovered. I have the most crazy trading injuries. I lost everything and some. I lost my house. I lost my fucking parents, family's money, everything doing this. To be standing here right now, like I have an onus to share this with everybody. Like, you know, I sometimes go to myself, like, I haven't got, like, you know, like I've got people really getting close to being amazing traders, but no one's making millions. And like, you know, it's like, no one's losing money with me. No one's losing their house. No one's fucking their life up. And that makes me feel happy, right? But I got so many like traumas from doing this. You have none. And what you're doing is you're showing up every single day and you're following the rules better than sometimes but I got my own traumas inside of me. So realize that, okay? And then the other part where like you deserve to make some money, you gotta like, I mean, I know what that's like to not think that you deserve it. I know what that's like to not think that I should make that much money every day. But I worked on a fucking super yacht and I watched the people tipping 10 grand. Like this is peanuts money. So I at least trained myself to joke, to shift myself out of being like, I can, you know, it's okay to make $500 a day. It's okay to make $1,000 a day. It's okay to make $5,000 a week. And then you watch people like, you know, like Alex Hormozi and different sellers that are doing 100K months. And it's like, even when you're making 10K a month, like your lifestyle, like you'll just, like, it won't feel any different. That's the thing. Like you'll have a few more organic vegetables in the fridge and like a nicer computer and maybe a better, like, you know, less. Yes, I don't have any stress financially. Like, I have a little bit, but it's not like what it used to be. And that's a beautiful thing. That is, but the difference hasn't changed much between what I was making before to what I'm making now. It's more just realizing that like I've got knowledge and I'm applying it. And so like, yeah, and it's an interesting question you asked, and that's why I'm just sort of rolling with it coming out, because it does. I've been through it, and I'm not 100% there yet. But like, you deserve, if you rock up every single day and you apply this psychology correctly, like, why you? Because you're calm enough, and you're intelligent enough, and you're pragmatic enough, and you're in control of yourself enough, and you've done enough self-work. You meditate every morning, you do your yoga, you work so hard to create music as a DJ. DJing is so similar to this. It's like press play on one deck, press play on another, match the beats. Why the fuck can't everybody do that? It's pretty simple. I can do it with my eyes closed and no headphones. Why can't, you know, I don't know, Mo, you might not be able to do it. Like, why can't Mo not just put the two beats together? But it's so fucking easy for us to do it. It's just two buttons, but you can do it. I can do it. Like, it's just the way it is. So realizing that you just have done the work that is allowing you to profit in this way now, and being okay with that is what it's about. But thanks for, I'm going to put that in the thing now, because it's an interesting way to look at it. And I'm sure it's, you know what, if I'm honest, it comes up in myself. I'm like, how come I can teach these people? Why, you know, right now is the first time I'm like, I'm really teaching these people gold. I'm fucking good at this. I felt like an imposter the past 6, 7, 8 months for sure, because it wasn't fully concrete and I wasn't fully there. Now I feel good about it. So, you know, at least know that. So, you know, just keep showing up every day and doing my analysis better than I can. And, you know, you deserve that. That's beautiful. Makes me look fucking great. Don't ever, you know, outshining me in terms of doing trading well is, I welcome that, because you're not outshining anything. You're making all of it shine. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, thanks for that. That's a good question. So yeah, 15 more minutes. So is everybody got to go? Or just pump the rest of this out? You go. You all good? Yeah, it's still good. Okay, sweet. Yeah, this is a good chat. So that's eradicating addiction. Going back to that, no addiction. Embodying the big picture. We've just explained what the big picture is. The whole thing from above is that it's just that cash flow scalping record. It just adds up. Okay, even if you break even for your first 2 months, you are trading better than 99% of the population. Okay, all I want to see is that how you manage your mind in a loss. That's the only thing I'm looking for. So that's all your priority should be. How do you feel when you're in that loss scenario? What are you thinking when you're in a loss? How are you in a loss? Am I stressed? Do I hate myself right now because I lost? Did I lose all those 2 days? I made $1,000 the last 2 days and I lost 2. That was 2 days of work. I went back 3. Like, you let go of it, then that allows your mind to go back into profit making. And you know, it's just this like, right? You got to squeeze through that. It's going to be sitting in it. You got to be ready to be uncomfortable for a week or two. This is about being okay with uncertainty. So you've got to force yourself to be okay with uncertainty and realize that, like, you just got to let go, at least in this department. You've got to let go of giving a fuck, because you're not losing anything at all. And the only thing that's going to make that I'm going to frown upon as a coach in this is just impulsive trading and not playing by the book and going, oh, trying to make it back. That's the only thing. Everything, that's the worst thing you do. I'm trying to make it back. I've got to make it back now. But whatever that is, however that comes up for you, nip that in the bud. Everything else we can work with calmly. That it's like, I can't help you with that. You just have to help yourself from the get-go. So then the next part of rewiring the psyche for trading is catching a program working against you. So that comes up to, like, if we feel that feeling, it's going to be in the course, all those things. And when you look at this hidden subconscious program, write it down, write out what you know, being fucking dead honest with yourself, brutally honest with yourself. You know what you're prone to. You don't need to show anybody that. You can show me if you want, put it out there. I guarantee you I have it 10 times. So there's no shame in that. Being vulnerable and putting that poison out, saying it how it is on the plate. Like Paige, you were super vulnerable just then. Beautiful. I saw that as power, to be honest. I saw that as masculine. But, you know, being vulnerable and putting that out immediately about how, you know, what these programs are that come up, you know, I need more. I do want to bend the rules, you know, like you might do things at work to get a bit of extra cash, you know, I don't know, whatever. Like we all do it. We've all done that. We've all been in those situations, but bring that up because that's the hidden program that's going to fuck you in this. Bring it to the surface, that thing that you really don't want, that thing that you've got shame over. Bring it up, write it down, look at it and go like, okay, cool. Like, I got a way of getting this out right now. I'm going to shit this thing out straight away because this is what it's going to do. Trading's going to shit it out for you. It's just a beautiful like reward, like byproduct is money. You shit out all your fucking bad traits, get on top of them. The byproduct is quick cash, but you got to face your bullshit head on and squeeze it out. Paige, that's why it's so hard. Okay. That's why you deserve it. You got to be vulnerable and face your shit and get it out quickly. That's why you deserve the money afterwards. Okay. It's the hardest thing for people to do. So catching the program working against you, make sure you know what your tendencies are. Okay. If the imposter thing that you just came up, then work on that, bring it up. Why do you deserve it? Because this is actually really difficult. And I've got 6 out of 20 that are in my advanced group that I'm so excited about. I'd love you to be another 5, right? 6 out of 20 that I can talk to. And they're like, yep, I'm doing it by the book every day. That's how difficult this is. Okay. Right? You got to be meticulous. It's harder. It's the hardest thing to do. You know, you got a 6-pack. You're one of the people that have a 6-pack. Fuck you. But you got that from hard work. You go in every morning, you're in the gym, you know, you go in the gym and you do it. That's hard work. You got to eat the right amount of food every day, right diet, right exercise. That's what this is. Okay. Catching a program, working against you. So yeah, we're just talking about that. Have these things ready to catch out when you're you know, when you're moving with them, when they're happening, and then be like, oh, that's that. Well, what is this feeling right now with loss? Write it down, like literally write it down, like find joy in that. Like I did it. It's really fun. Okay. I'm feeling this feeling right now. Why is that? I'm afraid of losing. I don't want to fail at this. Everyone's watching me. I need to get this done. I don't want it to look like a loser. I can't have, oh God, the boys, mate, the boys and the ladies, sorry, they're making more money than all the boys. You know, made this much cash today, blah, 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 blah. I've got to show up and do this. I'd let go of that. You know, I put my man out. Sometimes I don't trade. This morning I trade. Like, it doesn't matter. I am giving you guys good education. I'm giving you fantastic education. That's enough. I don't need to show off how much profit I'm making every single day. I've had to become okay with that. That program was coming up when I was in a trade going, oh, I need to get this today. I need to make it. I need to show my results. Like I need to get this, you know, and it's just I wrote that down and reversed it. Rewiring defensive lying. Okay. You're going to lie to yourself. It's going to come up. You got to see that. This is how hard it is. Okay. Different tiers. You're going to do this literally from the get-go. Oh, I should have taken that trade. It was good. It worked. Yeah. It was during news, but it worked. Like I knew that was what news was going to do. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to me. You're lying to everybody. I can see through it. It looks stupid. You know, it looks stupid. Look at the lie immediately and just be like, okay, I'm lying to myself. That was shit. Like that wasn't by the book. All good. But I'm so proud of myself for like not believing my own lie. This is fascinating, this stuff. And then being brutally honest with yourself. So you got to be brutally honest with yourself. So it's like rewire the defensive lying, being brutally honest with yourself. Okay. That was a good trade. That was bad trade. I did this morning. I did that. Okay. I'm going to be so excited to work with you guys when you're doing this because it's just fascinating to me. So just really embody this, write everything you do down. Okay. And then we starve what do I call the tilt monster? So the tilt monster is that thing that comes up that's like, and it just controls you. Like I was on literally with one of the guys 2 months ago, and fantastic trader, fantastic person who just was not in the right spot at the right time, had other things at home going on and got into a rut. And like literally I was with him trying to just get his account back up to break even. So he just get to start the month again. And he took a trade when I was on the phone with him, just keeping him calm, and he just could not take the trade. Like he just took it prematurely, then lost it, just sabotaged himself. And that's when that is the tilt monster, like physically in control of your body. I want you to know what it is, see what it is. You're never going to go there. You're never going to go there. You're just never going to have any power. That's just unchecked. And it's largely, it's my fault. It's everybody's fault. Like we didn't have this in play, but I know some of us have had to take it on the chin to rewire and work out how we can, stop that before it begins. And that it's a thing that if you give power to a thought, and how many times you had stories in your head about somebody, they did this, and you're thinking, you're like, oh, that motherfucker, like, or whatever. And then like, they like, hey man, I was on holiday for 2 days. Like you just never know what that person's like is going on. You create this whole thing, you give it power. It's taking over your, maybe I'm just fucked up. I don't know. But like, there's times when it's happened where like that, there's thing has come up or a problem, like fucking going to Chedraui, just this huge monster of even just going to the supermarket. I can't do it. Like, and then realizing like I just get Amazon, like it's just silly shit like that. This is the tilt monster. So if you the tilt monster, so if you let these programs run, they give this thing power and it's in control of you. Before you know it, you don't even know it's controlling you, and you're doomed from the beginning. So let's be aware of that, to completely starve this thing and give it nothing so it never exists. Okay. And then we rewire. Okay. Just finishing up here. We rewire for process orientated dopamine release. This is the most exciting part of this training. It is, what I heard, I think it was on Huberman Lab recently. It just blew my mind because it was like, I'm just wanting to do more. I want to up my business more. I want to get the website better and do these things. But I just, it's not that I'm not excited or motivated about it. It's just like habitually working more effectively. And it's the end goal is like the rewards there, but I want to get enjoyment out of the process, like I do if I'm making a video or like, DJing, the dopamine being released during the process of that. Like if I could get that out of the boring stuff, how amazing. Mike Tyson always says, discipline is doing what you hate like you love it. Okay. And that's what this really is rewire. And that sounds like the most difficult thing to do, but if we realize that it's actually a scientific thing, we can rewire for process orientated dopamine release. And that is through honest planning and journaling, honest journaling, writing down your results as they are afterwards. You take a $2,000 loss, you write that in. You take a $9,000 loss, you write that fucker in. No matter what the thing is, you're being honest, you're showing up, you're not lying to yourself, you're doing this, you're planning. It's bound to get better. You're seeing the results. You start to get these blue lines, you get 10 in a row, and then you get one little red one. You're like, that's nothing. I'm going to go straight back to blue after that. Like the statistics speak for themselves. You're like, this works. And you're getting a kick out of putting that journal in every single day. You start to release dopamine from the process. So now I had like, it's not like, an orgasm. I'm not like, wow, I did a beautiful trade this morning and I feel ecstatic because I made $1,142. But I'm like, I'm so grateful from that little trade I did. I did it perfectly. I did it in the right manner. I did it to supply. I was quick in and out. I knew what I was doing and I didn't go back and want to make more money afterwards. That feels good. I can look my partner in the eye without any cortisol running through my system and be like, hey baby, like, it's just, that feels good. And I rather live like that than worrying about a trade that I got into too early because I couldn't wait to make some money, because that's how it works. I don't even know why we would ever do that, but that's what we do. And then rewiring, this is a big part, rewiring the cycle of trading is practicing controlled loss in the real account. Your practice account is your real account. We shift over into the real account. There's two processes: on the trial account, then in the real account. You're not going to pass your first test month. You might, but let's not look at it like that. We go in there and we take a bit of loss. We just feel it out. We learn what it's like to be in that environment and control loss, because when you can control your loss calmly, you are invincible at this. You're always going to be able to make money. You're like, as I said, when you got your real account, or even with your own money, if you can extract a $200,000 account, $5,000 is 2.5%. Okay. There's 3 trades a month. That is like a fucking good salary. 5,000 USD a month. It is. It's a great salary. Like literally, once you've got this account, and we're going to have methods of getting through the first part more effectively. If you just 2.5% a month, if you can actually just rewire yourself to be okay with that and realize that that's like, that's a really, really good salary from your computer remotely for like half an hour in terms of time over money. like time over work, it's just ridiculous. It's a 4-hour work week. It's not even that. Like, that's a great way to live. That's not, you're not a trader. You just worked out how, like, you know, a hole in the matrix. Like, if you can get out of like loss in a controlled manner, you're always going to be able to make $5,000 or 2.5% a month. Always, like, literally. It's not even like the pipe dream, like, oh, you're going to be good at this, guys. You're amazing. Like, you literally can always make 2.5% per month. Like, you've already done it, Paige. You've made 5. Like, this isn't a trial account in 2 weeks. On a $200,000 account, that's in 1 week. You're at $4,000. Okay, 1 week. So,
Sorry, I was on 100,000 account.
yeah, but you're how many $4,000 in 2 weeks or 1 week?
7 days.
Okay, 7 days. So, like some days you didn't make money? Like,
Yeah, it
were you
was,
being
2 days I didn't make money.
were you being aggressive with your trading?
One day I think I got 2 trades at five something. One day I brought the stop up to the profit up to basically break even, so I made 120, and 2 days no trading. So
Yeah. And you're saying, like, you feel that it's too easy and that's why it feels fake. Yeah. Well, then that's beautiful. I'm going to use that in my yeah.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to share it because to be a professional musician, you have to give every single ounce of your creative, emotional, spiritual energy.
Yeah.
And then to be so grateful to be invited to be a part of this and work with you, it's like, did I hit the lottery? How did I?
But what
This
if
is too-
what if all of your training and all of your work you've done led up to you being a person I could see would benefit and be able to do this?
Yeah, I mean, hey, Benny, if you don't mind, I wanted to actually comment on this before. Paige, sometimes, you know, you need to realize you also did all the work, you know, put out all the energies, took some risk moving here, and did those things that you're supposed to do to get yourself in this place where you met Benny, right? Came across, you know, this man. And so, yeah, in a way you could say it's lucky, but I don't know. I truly believe, especially down here, you know, a lot of things sometimes manifest themselves, and you got to just believe in that, like, Earth is also, Mother Earth is just knowing what you need and kind of providing that for you too, you know, and like really, and for me too, like, I'm just trying to always remind myself of like how lucky I am to be part of this. And, you know, for me, I don't know what everyone's background is. I would love to get to know you guys too, but for me, since college, I've worked full-time job, you know, working for corporate companies for 15, 17 years. And, you know, going back to you saying $5 a lot of money, it is, dude. You got to realize, like, all these VPs and senior directors, all these fucking companies, they make 6 figures and it's pretty high. But when you break down how many hours and amount of stress that people are putting themselves through, it's not that much money, man. And as you know, also, you compare to like big salaries, broken down per month, right? You add up all the hours, then there's taxes, and ultimately, like, you're not making that much for, like, let's say $150,000 or $200,000, you know, salary, compared to what this potential of this could be, you know, for you, like, so lucrative. And again, like, for me, that's gonna be the main reminder of, like, you know, stay humble. I said that earlier too, like, stay humble. Like, this is a great opportunity for us to continue to focus on what we want to focus on, creating and sharing our talent, our music, and whatever else you want to share in the world. But this is just another tool for you to have a little bit of that comfort so that you can create more, right? Something more beautiful, which is something I'm desiring, you know, like, because I've been through the corporate world. I worked my ass off. I've made some money, but I've also lost a lot because I took some risk. But, you know, I'm at the place now where I want to stay to create this life that I started to create 2 years ago in Tulum, because this is home for me. And I'm not going back to the US right now. I'm not going to go back working for corporate companies. But yeah, I'm a little scared, but I found this, and I truly believe in what this could be for me for the future. But again, the key thing for me is the fact that being thankful, staying humble, and just grinding every day, like I have been for, you know, all of my life, but a little less hours now, you know, which is nice. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was lovely. Wow. Yeah. That's
Mm,
yeah, like you deserve it. We deserve it. It's
mm,
being like, I look around at right now and I see all these big houses. Like, who the fuck owns all these places? Like, someone's just they've got passive income coming in. They got their cash flow coming in. Like, it's just being smart with your time, and it's like lifestyle adaptation. There's less stressful ways to make money than this. This is a way to get your leg up. But as Joel, sorry, was just saying, it's like, this is just allowing you to go and actually get onto that, like, movie music to the next level. Like be like grateful you've got this tool, like, of being able to pull these fake numbers out of the air, because you can actually apply your mind and meditate. This is so difficult for people, dude. Like, it isn't easy. That's 9 years, brother. Like, I've only just grown back my middle fingernail. Like, it's not easy, dude. It isn't. It's taken everything. You're at the point now going, like, it's like time. Like, what else? You're either going to do it or not, you know? Read Think and Grow Rich as well. I made 20K the week after I read that. It's real. It just shows you how to think. You know, it's an actually real book. I mean, it worked for me. Like, I never made 20K in a week before. That was with my business and trading and everything, but the shit works. So it's like, you know, it's how you think, but releasing that, like, even, and I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from, because it's like, why do I deserve to be free finally? Why do I deserve to have the success? But, like, you know, to take the edge off it a little bit, it's like, it's just, yeah, like, let's remove the financial stress. You're still going to be like, I want to make it as a DJ. You're still going to be like, I want my music out there. So that's not fully solved yet, but, like, make it a bit easier for yourself to get to that dream by putting this tool in, right? You know, if you can control if you can not even control, if you can just rewire the way you think in this way, what I've just dropped on you guys is like some next level shit. So if you can embody that and actually apply it, like, you're going to be it's like, it's not just trading. It's going to breathe out of you in all aspects. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to, thank you, Joel. It was really beautiful what you just said. Exactly how it is. I'm so happy where we're at with this group, where everything is at the moment. The last part of that was complete rewiring in 2 weeks. Like, you know, let's rewire that. Let's be on top of it. I am going to be shooting this thing and these pieces to camera separately. This was just a first trial to download everything into you guys and show you. I'm going to put it into the group and, like, let everybody watch this. There are other parts of the course that will be in the course, but this is the crux of the psychology. And yeah, like, have we got any questions? Like, please, anything, how you're thinking about that. Even if everybody just goes around and says, like, quickly a minute about what I've just said, and any feedback, I'd appreciate that. So maybe let's start with Yat, and then go to Mo, and then back to Paige and Joel, just to get them, give them time to speak. But yeah, Yat, how do you feel after listening to that? And are you still excited about the process? Like, how does that affect you mentally?
Yeah. I mean, so far, if I understood everything right, big part of trading is everything psychology. Like, it's just being in the, like, not get too fucked up, just follow the procedure. There's a system, follow it, and whatever you feel, just write it down. Because again, it's just feelings that comes in the moment and goes. It's not gonna affect how much you make, how much you lose. End of the day, it's all a game. And your big part of your big teaching part, it's psychology. So once we get that down, everything should be easy as breeze.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, and we think that that's easy, but it's not. We're just doing it. Like, we're taking action. It's not easy to change your psychology, but we're doing it. This is the drive. The beautiful thing is that this motivation, the goal-oriented reward at the end, is forcing us to change our psychology. We don't even realize what we're actually doing. You know, we're changing our psychology in the moment because of what it gives us at the end, with a clear path to do so. And that's a beautiful thing. Mo?
Yeah, touching on everything that everyone said, especially with what Paige said, definitely psychology is something that I'm really looking forward to the next part of your coursework that you've put out. because yeah, deserving really, like it's like, wow, it's too good to be true. Those feelings keep coming up, and it's seeing, for me, I've really been seeing with my psychology what repeated patterns keep coming up, especially with practicing. It's like noticing when my mind's trying to veer off and like do its own thing, or trying to tell me that, you know, I'm not good enough at doing it. And it's really catching all of that, understanding that that is what I need to work on in order to, like, the foundation of the actual work that I know of how to do it for it to work.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's beautiful just hearing it reiterated, but we start to see how this has nothing to do with the strategy. It's like, and then no one focuses on what we're focusing on. So that's why it is going to work. You're not hearing this from anybody else. Yeah, there's books that talk about it, trading in the zone, all that, but it's like you're working, like you can read a book and be like, oh yeah, like I've read 1,000 books on like meditation, happiness, rewiring, Joe Dispenza. You're reading like, oh, that sounds amazing. We're showing up every fucking day and exercising as a team in the same group think, and the prize at the end is so great. Like it's like therapy in action and then reward at the end. And I'm so deserving of, like, I'm so happy with who I am now and who I'm becoming. And like, yeah, I deserve to fucking get paid for that because it was tough. I never had financial literate parents. Parents are worried. My dad was an artist, but he just didn't know anything about money. It was fantastic. I saw him lose his ability to create, his ability to paint, all this because he couldn't understand money. And so I went on this tirade to get there, albeit in a crazy chaotic direction, removing traumas, childhood traumas, to get to this place where like I'm generally happy now. I still have a little bits of anxiety and little bits of things come up, but like pretty good. And now the next step is that actually, like, I'm fucking enjoying working with you guys on this and working on myself, and like, you guys are pushing me to heal myself. So it's like seeing that, like, again, just touching it, like, it is deserved. This is not easy. We're just showing up every day, and getting that 6-pack. Yeah. And Joel, do you want to?
Yeah, no, for me, I'm just, I feel like I'm probably the very beginner here. It seems like you guys have dove in a little more than I have, which again, I'm excited to learn from everybody. And, but what I'm really excited about is like dealing with those things that'll come up. Like, cause I know I definitely have a slightly addictive personality, and I've definitely had some trauma with money and all that stuff, like from childhood and everything Benny mentioned. I know I definitely have that. It's gonna come up. So I'm actually really excited to deal with all that and see where this goes. But again, like as I said 10 minutes ago, it's like I want to make sure, maybe I need to have like a reminder note, of like the reason why Benny and I start to talk about this, and why I've decided to join, like the reason, that foundation, which again is to create that lifestyle that I'm desiring to continue to build. So yeah, I'm just excited, guys. Like, this has been so awesome. Thank you, Benny. I'm excited to spend more time with you guys. But the question for you, Benny, like, so what is the next process for, actually Paige has got to go, but maybe you can answer that later. Just overall process, next steps.
I'll answer the question now. Yeah, well, next steps at the moment is I am going to get this, basically, like, I've just gone through all the psychology with you guys, and then they'll be reiterated in the course, but you guys have the first download of it. I'm going to put this up in the group for everybody to watch, to get understanding where we're coming out with this. I've redone the technical market structure. I shot that yesterday. It's pretty much the same, but it's just a little cleaner. Like, it's just perfect. So it's like how the chart looks, how to draw everything, how everything's clean, simplified it even more, what you're looking for, just understanding what's happening in the market. So going through the technical market structure, everybody going through it again. Sorry if you've gone through the other course, but look, we're here to make it. So let's just put the effort in, go through the technical market structure again, the risk management, how that works, how to think about that. Again, it's just another, it's hard to explain. You have to see it in the moment, but explaining, risk management, understanding the trading software, the charting, this trading view, the new indicators, everything cleanly done, nothing from the old course, just how I teach now. Then I've got a very clean session preparation protocol. So that's, trading relaxed, never stressed or tired. And then like how we do our top-down analysis. That's basically what you see every single morning on YouTube. That's the session preparation protocol, just a breakdown of what that is. And then how to scalp mean reversion, how we do it, how we place our trades. So once that's going to be shot this week, and then you'll be able. I'm going to just get that done and give it to you clean, Joel, instead of drip feeding it to you. In the meantime, just like I can send you a video, a couple of videos that I've shot on YouTube to upload MT4 and TradingView, so you can get them going. I think you've got TradingView going, and like get that stuff just so that everything's clean in your computer. We could probably even honestly like catch up maybe tomorrow or Thursday, and you come around and I'll load everything up on your computer. If you've got VMware working, we can just, have we done that already?
Yeah, everything's good. I took care of that last week, so I'm just waiting for the content now. Just
ready to trade.
Go.
Okay. So content
or go through the course. Yeah, essentially just
hit
that start button. Yeah.
Okay, that I'll get that. I'll get that to you, even if it's not finished. I'll get the, like, I'm doing all the strategic stuff, all the technical stuff. I'm shooting that. I've shot 2 chapters already, so I'll get that access to you as soon as possible. So maybe even tomorrow, so you can start going through that, and then just getting you taking trades. I can send you the scripts now. I might do that afterwards, so you can at least drop them on the chart. But like, you're going to be rolling, you know, by the end of this week. Okay, in that sense. But yeah, all the technicals are here. Also the journaling Excel spreadsheets. You're going to get the cash flow record spreadsheet, how to journal on TradingView, and how to do the end of session reports. These need to be done meticulously every single day. So that's the other part that you'll be getting. But next step forward, 2 days, I'll have the course for you. Light that fire under my ass. Okay, let's do it. Like, I literally had 3 beers last night. I'm just like, so I'm gonna get into it this afternoon. But yeah, you have it. You'll have it tomorrow. Okay, Paige.
I think just the 2 things I want to thank you for and say that maybe everyone in the group likes as well is when you share podcasts or Instagram clips or YouTube videos or audiobooks, I'm so drawn to click it and at least preview it, and if I like it, save it and go for walks and listen to it. So the more you send, the more like a family and team, and you know, almost like a football team it feels like. So it's really exciting. And the other day when I had texted you on the side out of excitement over a trade, you just like with a bamboo stick, you just whacked me and said, dude, you need to chill out. And you didn't say anything else. You're like, you're way too emotional, chill out. And that I said to my wife, I'm like, fuck Benny. And then she said, well, did you do what you're supposed to do? And I was like, no, I was way too excited. And that has carried me for the last 4 or 5 trading days of it's not a win or loss, it's just what we do. So thank you for emotionally always having the stick. And like, now I know I'm not going to do that again to you, because I know the way you want to be respected, the way you want us to think. So it's this constant, it's more of, it's less selfish and more selfless to the team of let's be like this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for, like, I mean, you just answered the question of why you deserve it. It's because of what you just said. Like, you know, this is why you're here, bro. Like, it's just like, it's exactly that. It's like equanimous, and that's boring for most. No one's getting the dopamine. Trading's meant to be exciting. Like, no, the exciting part is going to a restaurant and like not caring what the cost is. That comes from being equanimous. You know, that's all I give a fuck about. I really don't care about anything else. I just like to be able to have a nice meal and not care and not worry about that shit. So that's where the payoff is. That's where you go, let's fucking go, is when you sit there and you go to a how and you have a beautiful meal or, you know, whatever. And that's when you feel it, not in that moment, like it worked. Because the opposite of let's fucking go is I fucking just lost. Right. And most of the time you're going to win. So yeah, but thank you. That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. I appreciate that. And yeah, we've come a long way. The education is beautiful. The group's beautiful. I will put more stuff up. It's been a big call. Let's leave it at that for now, unless anyone else has any other questions. I will get this beautiful education to you guys by the end of this week. Okay, Joel, hang tight. Just watch that analysis every morning and like, yeah, get ready to have some fun next week. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention and interest, and it's such a pleasure to have you guys here. So cheers.
Any
See you guys.